Hello, so this video is going to be on how to crate your foster dog properly. And why would we want to crate our dogs? To keep them out of trouble, primarily for house training, not chewing up things, as well as give them a safe den to retreat to. So if they get anxious or concerned or overwhelmed with kids, too many people in the house, workers, some kind of construction, then they have a safe little den that they can retire to. It's also really good if you travel to have your dog crate trained so that in the hotel room they're safe if anyone opens up doors. Also, it smells like home. It's nice for that and for boarding to help them feel more secure in a new setting. Any future vet care that's needed, they're already used to being in a crate. Crating is not cruel as long as they get mental stimulation and proper exercise. Where should you place your foster dog's crate? Ideally in a family area where they can be part of the family. You can also put them in a room, like I personally have a crate in the family area, and then I have a crate upstairs in the dog room so that I can sleep at night and they have their own little space. If after 3 nights your foster dog is having a really hard time barking and carrying on, you can try moving them in a hallway where they can see you sleeping, or in the bedroom. Some do better if they don't see you. Some do better if they see you. The crate must be large enough for the foster dog to be able to stand up and turn around and lay back down, but not so big that they're tempted to eliminate on one end and lay on the other end. Okay. Your puppies are okay, usually, depending on their age, of course, 3 to 4 hours in the crate, and your adults 6 to 8 hours, again, as long as they are properly exercised and have mental stimulation. For really young puppies, if it's impossible for you to come home in time or have a pet sitter in time for them to not potty in their crate, then put a puppy pad at the back of the crate, not the front, because you don't want them to get excited when you walk in and they go to the door and jump all over their pee and their poop. That's really gross, and then you end up having to bathe a puppy. So put the puppy pad at the end of the crate and the bedding at the front of the crate to keep the two areas separated until they're big enough to be able to hold it for that amount of time, and then you wean them off the puppy pad. And that is the only time you should use a puppy pad, because if you use a puppy pad around the house, it is so hard to wean them off of it. Okay, how do you get your foster dog happy in your crate? Well, if you don't have other dogs, this is hard to do if you have other dogs, but if you don't have other dogs, just as you're walking by the crate, just throw treats throughout the day, and he'll run in, get the treats, run back out. Before long, you'll see a dog that will go running in the crate to see if treats have magically appeared. And you can just put a little Tupperware container at the either end of the room so you can easily grab the treats and throw them into the crate. If you have multiple dogs, please don't do that. That's a great way to get a dog fight started. So you can put your other dogs away and just spend 30 minutes in that room reading or something, and every once in a while throw the treats in to get them used to going in and out. When you are getting ready to leave, you put the treats in, your foster dog goes in, you close the door, tell them to have a good day, you walk away. Do not make a big deal out of this, okay? We don't want them anxious because you look anxious, okay? Even if you're not anxious, we don't want the dog to perceive even just, I'll be right back, it's okay. Okay, it's, I'll be back, and you walk out. Not a big deal, you gotta go get Bunny for dinner, okay? So when you come back, do not have a party either, okay? So coming and going should be very low key. So when you come back, you just casually open the door, lead them outside to go potty, they'll sniff around, go potty, and then call him over, and then you can have your greeting party and have a good time. But not at a crate, and by the way, not in hallways. Okay? So greet your dogs after you've gone home and they're calm so they don't associate a party with you coming and letting them out. If your dog is barking and carrying on and whining, well, you don't want to let them out at that point, because then they're going to think, oh, if I whine or I bark, then she comes and lets me out. What you want to do is go stand right by the crate, because if you ignore the behavior, they're going to keep going. So you're going to go stand by the crate, so they usually will stop and go, oh, are you going to let me out? And then you start to bend over to let them out. If they start barking again, blew it. You go back to let them out, blew it. And dogs are so super smart. They'll pick up very quickly that when they're quiet, you're about to let them out. When they act up, you withdraw. So they'll learn very quickly being quiet or having all four paws on the ground is the quickest way to get that door to open up. And then once they're out, again, you just take them out to potty and then you greet them outside. If you have a really hard time with the crating, feed them in the crate. So two tips. One is feed them in the crate, and you just simply put the food in, leave the door open, and let them go in, eat, and come back out. If you have other dogs, put them away during that time so we don't get in a food fight going. The other one is to do a very irresistible stuffed Kong. And 10 minutes before you leave, pull it out of the freezer or wherever you have it stored at and make a big deal out of it. Ooh, yummy Kong. And that's the only time they get that yummy Kong. And you put it in a crate and you close the door. And what we want is the dog sitting beside the door going, are you ever going to leave so I can go in there and get my stuffed Kong? All right, 10 minutes. You open a door, the foster dog goes in, you close the door, have a good day, I'll be right back, and you walk out. The other thing about the Kong that's really nice is if they don't eat the Kong, then we know that we have an anxiety issue. Dogs are not going to eat if they're truly anxious. But if they're eating the Kong, but they're carrying out the crate, then we have a leadership issue and we got to look at, other things that may be going on to help them out. But the Kong usually is a really great trick for the dogs to go, oh my gosh, finally you're leaving so I can get my Kong. And again, we want the dog to love it. It's the only time he gets it, and it's got really yummy things in it. And that is crate training your foster dog. If you have any questions or you have any issues, please call our team. Thank you.